Greetings, YouTube. I have received so many questions behind the scenes from people who, for some reason, explanations remain a mystery to me, have contacted me saying, Prof, should I do it? Prof, should I trade in my 6-star shards for a 7-star? And if you missed it, I believe at the time of recording this, I've posted the video. My man Dynamics had quite a roller coaster of luck when he did this exact trade-in. He went down to not 1,600 6-star shards, but 16 6-star shards. And he came away with, I think, a result that, again, you can judge for yourself if you watch the video, is one that he actually thinks was worth it. But that is a example that's few and far between. Because part of why Kabam wants us to be tempted is that part of us wants to think, oh, 6-star shards, they aren't valuable anymore. So we should trade them in for 7-star crystals. Even if it's 165,000 6-star shards to 1. Now, personally, I think it should be a 10-to-1 ratio at most. I think this should have been 100,000 6-star shards, and this should have been 10 basic crystals, not featured. But Kabam is trying to drain people of their 6-star shards, and there are, at the time of recording this, over 60 days or 2 months left in the current featured 6-star. So the new one won't come out for a while, and I know people, including my man Kickrocks, who sometimes save up at least 1 million, if not more, 6-star shards for the next featured 6-star because they're going to do all it takes to get everyone they want, and maybe even everyone they want, awakened, and then go from there. But there's a huge problem with this, and that is that it's training the brain to think that 6-stars are a thing of the past. And while that's technically true when you consider that 7-stars are supposed to be the future, Kabam themselves have said that with the invention of Ascension, their goal is for people like this 6-star Ascended Hercules to be relevant for years. And look, I know people, take the 5-star, speaking of Ascension, I did a video on this this past weekend, but take this 5-star Ascended Sig 200 Ronin. I know people who are beating rank 2 7-stars with this guy, because a few times a year, including this current meta of Battlegrounds, he's beyond God tier. He can stun lock you to death with actually both his Special 1 and Special 2, but most likely just Special 1. Just spam the Special 1s. And if you don't have full recoil masteries on in Battlegrounds, you can do that for as long as it takes to get the defender down without losing a bit of health. That's pretty amazing. But that is a small microcosm of what 6-stars will be for a long time. And I commend Kabam for that. But I also don't want them to convince you all that 7-stars should be prioritized before 6-stars. Now, maybe in the next year, we're going to see things like 7-star Nexus crystals, 7-star Awakening gems, even class-based. Although, keep in mind that normally when that gets introduced, there's the next version of the Abyss, which was the next version of the Labyrinth of Legends. That's when you complete one path and you get a few 7-star 6-stone crystals, and then the only way to guarantee a targeted awakening of a 7-star is by exploring the whole thing, and that should take, golly, at first, when it first comes out, minimum of like 10,000 units worth of revives, but for the average quote-unquote player, closer probably to 20,000 units worth of revives. And of course, for me, it'd be about 50,000 units worth of revives. So, who knows when that's going to be? I don't have a crystal ball. I do think that 7-stars will be, of course, the new targeted goal for the next progression level, and if Thronebreaker was any indication, because it seems like, historically speaking, they're alternating between having a new progression title first in the fall and then in the spring, because Thronebreaker was right before Cyber Weekend / now Cyber Week, and Paragon was in between Spring Cleaning and July 4th week. Also, I know these facts better than, like, what I teach in journalism, which I don't know if that is, like, the ultimate cry for help on my channel, because I have filled my brain with so much MCOC history that if the game died tomorrow, I would kind of want an Etch-a-Sketch in my brain to like shake up everything and forget it, but at the same time I couldn't, so I'd just be stuck with all this info. So verbally dump it out while I can, I guess. You know, the bottom line to me is 7-stars are great. I have 2 at rank 2, Domino and Hulk, but I still use Hercules more than anybody else. I still use Corvus the most for Alliance Quest. And I think just for my own sanity, or lack thereof, I'm more comfortable using Sig 200 6 stars. And yeah, I could get a 7-star Falcon tomorrow. That doesn't mean I'm not still planning on taking my 6-star to rank 5. Same with so many others. And we know for a fact, and this is the biggest takeaway of all in this video, that Kabam has history with taking the best champions of a star, Quake and Magic, hence 2 of my Ascensions, in this case, but also now you could say Hercules, you could say Dr. Doom. Shoot, Black Widow Clairvoyant made quite a stir, which I still don't understand that argument. But Nick Fury, Nimgod, Scorpion, shoot, even Corvus, even though I think Corvus is a 7-star, makes more sense because he's not as effective when the health pools are crazy high. He's just sort of a cheaper version of Hercules in the same way that, sadly, one of my favorite science champions, Spider-Ham, still seems like a cheaper version of Scorpion. And I don't think 7-star Archangel is going to be around anytime soon either. So I don't think 6 stars are losing value at all. I think they're just gaining value. But Kabam wants you to lessen your shards this week for a 7-star gamble that could easily backfire and lead you to regret it more than anything you've done this year, which also may be saying something. So I wanted to make this video saying, don't fall for it. 6 stars are still the future. I know that's going to get some pushback from people who say that's ridiculous because 7 stars is going to be rank 4, rank 5. I still think 6 stars will be the future. I still think they're going to be valuable, and they've never been cheaper to awaken and cheaper to put 6 stones into or rank up. And so we need to take advantage of that while we can, because rank 3 7 stars right now are also not in the game and will be slowly making their way. I think for the next progression, I think there'll be 3 rank 3 7 stars. It makes perfect sense. If it's more than that, Lord help us. But in the meantime, I don't want people to feel like they have to also walk away from the game that they love because they feel like they can't keep up with the 7-star push. It's just not accurate. And I still know people who have such great skills in the game that they could take any rank 5 5-star and clear any piece of content in the game with a decent minimal amount of items. We're talking about everything from the Abyss to Act 8 to, of course, things like Labyrinth of Legends that are older and variant content, but also the Gauntlet and, Lord knows what else. A huge part of the Gauntlet the first time I explored it was with Quake as a 5-star, and that was not pretty, especially because I did it live, and there were people who took pride in cutting out all of my live deaths and making it into their own highlight video, which I guess that's how you know you've made it as a YouTuber, when somebody does that. But either way, do not fall for it. 6 stars are still the future. The trade-in can easily backfire. Shout out to Dynamics for having it work out, but he is the exception, not the rule in this case.